Hi. Hi, Ripco. Thank you for checking in. I didn't log in to mix it up. I didn't give you your little message. Sorry. Hi. We're trying to see new setup with the tablet. I've never used the tablet. I've always done the drawing streams with my iPad. So we're trying to find a comfy spot where like I can stream. I have my phone and I have the OBS with chat open. But I feel like my desk is getting too tiny and I might need a bigger desk soon. Or I might need to position my monitors differently. I think it would also help if I had more than like 2 monitors. Cause I just feel like I don't have enough monitors right now. I think I need to like create a wall of monitors now. I'm just checking to see. I did a little bit of testing to see how it looks on stream. I think it looks fine. Yeah, you can see the doodles. I can draw something and it pops up easily. It is so nice to be using a tablet instead of the iPad. You don't realize like how powerful the desktop Clip Studio Paint is until you go back to it after not being on it for so long. I don't really know what we're gonna draw, but I figure I can do a cute. I can just do a little doodle to see how it's looking on stream. And it feels good. This is a Huion. I'm not super familiar with how to say the name of it, but I had one of these tablets from this brand before and I really liked it. The only problem was it was a little too small for for what I wanted out of it. And also the 3-in-1 tablet situation, well, it's not a 3-in-1 tablet. It was you had to connect it with a 3-in-1 cable. When this one still has that same thing, but there's also an option to use a USB-C, and it makes it so much easier cable-wise. Also, the screen is way smoother than the other one I had. It's so smooth. It's kind of crazy how smooth it is. I don't have any of my brushes though, because the last time I drew on it, I used my MacBook, and so this time I have to find what brushes I like. I don't really want to just go and re-download everything. Hi. Because if you're an artist, you probably understand this dilemma where you see free brushes and you just download every free brush because it kind of looks cool and you think, oh, free thing, I want to use free thing, and it looks like a decently useful free thing, you think, but it's actually not useful at all. And so now you have this growing list of free brushes that are all useless to you, and you don't remember why you downloaded it. You don't understand why you have 10 different brushes for lace patterns, but you do. And you're too sentimental to delete any of them because you might think why I might need this. Blech. Blech. I don't know if I like the G Pen versus just the real G Pen. I think the real G Pen has like a nice quality, but it's a little too like, maybe it's a little too pixely. I switched to it right now. Sorry. The first part of the stream is probably gonna be me just like testing around like brushes, because I truly don't know which brush I like using anymore. I've been so like iPad Procreate pilled that I don't remember like what feels good. And there's so many things. I've been waiting for this tablet to arrive for like over a week now, because they lied to me on shipping. They said that this was gonna be only 3 shipping days, 3 business days, and it was in fact a lie. It was like 7 business days. I paid, well, no, that's a lie. I didn't pay anything. It was free shipping, but they said free shipping 2 to 3 business days. But I guess that's what you get for thinking the free shipping is gonna be like, is actually going to deliver. I should have never trusted them. That's okay, it got here fine. It wasn't broken. I've seen horror stories of people ordering these display tablets, and it gets to them completely broken because like FedEx punted it to their door. Okay, I don't really like how the real G Pen looks versus the actual G Pen. I think the smoothness is nice. I'm kind of over the like kind of pixely look, because when you use I feel like any brush in Procreate ends up looking quite pixely. At least when you upload it. Sometimes it doesn't look pixely when you're drawing, but then you upload it and you go, why is it so pixelated? And I don't think anyone actually cares. Like, this is just like when you draw it and then you notice how pixely it is yourself. Okay, goodbye, little doodle. What are we gonna draw? I kind of want to draw. Zoom in. Enhance. Also, this tablet has like fun things that I'm not used to using yet. Like there's a wheel like with tactile sounds to zoom in and zoom out. I don't think the camera will be able to pick up the sound, but it really like triggers a neuron in my brain being able to like use a tactile wheel to zoom in and zoom out. If I've talked about this before, but something about like physical buttons and wheels really makes it go, ooh, this is real. This is real. I don't really understand why it doesn't work. It doesn't seem to work sometimes, though. I don't get it. Like, right now I'm gonna do it, and it's not doing it. Oh, no, just kidding. It is doing it. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I was lying. I also know that I'm so used to not having a reference picture just put into on my screen, because the Procreate screen is so tiny. It's so teeny tiny, y'all. All the spaces are like super valuable. But now I have so much room that I could put a reference, like I can like have a window with a reference picture like right here or something. But I am not used to that level of space, so I'm not taking advantage. The one thing I do miss with Procreate though is you can't it won't fix your circles for you. I have to just be confident with the fact that, or not confident, maybe I just need to accept that my circles won't be perfect. And, that's okay. Now that I have my tablet, it's so nice because there's so many things I wanted to work on that I just was kind of too upset at the capabilities of Procreate. And that's not to say Procreate's not a good program. And I think I've seen people do some amazing things with it. I've seen people make whole VTuber models with it, which is insane to me because if you've ever used the iPad, like the Procreate program, you know that the layer system is it's kind of fricked. It's kind of it's really limiting how many layers you can have in one drawing with on your iPad. You can, like, depending on the size of them, like the size of your file you're working with, sometimes you can only have like maybe 50 layers, and you have to work on some big size like files when you're doing a VTuber model because it has to be able to be stretched out. It can, like, I think my model is like, it's like 4,000 by 4,000, and that's like maybe even on the smaller side, all things considered, with how high res some people's models are. And so when you work on a file that big on Procreate, oh, thank you, Caldonia. I will be arting. When you work on a file that big in Procreate, the program is gonna tell you can only have like maybe 20 layers. And if you've ever done VTubing model art as well, you know that you have to be able to like make a layer for like every little part. Oh, it's okay. Good luck with your work. Lurk if you can, but no, don't worry if you can't. Good luck. Good luck. Don't die. Don't perish at work. And so when you have to make a layer of literally everything, it's really, really difficult to fit well, it's not even just difficult, it's just impossible to fit everything you need in 20 layers. So what I've seen these Procreate VTuber artists do, they will just keep making new files for every layer. So one file will have the 20 layers, and then the second file will have the next 20 layers they need. And it's just like, oh my gosh, kudos to you for working within your limitations. Couldn't be me though, because I tried it and I like gave up immediately. I was getting too upset. You worked 16 hours yesterday and on 4 hours of sleep. Oh no! That is so rough. Oh goodness. Take it easy. Don't perish. That's the most important thing, is don't perish. VTuber artists are amazing. Until I did it myself, I didn't realize just how much work goes into like every little part. And it's honestly a different skill set. Because what can look good in illustration can sometimes not end up looking that great as a model, is what I have come to learn. But that also might be like up to the rigger to be able to maybe get some of that energy out there. But I can also what am I doing there? Okay, I know I wanted the liquefy tool. I've seen some like amazing artists, like artists I really, really admire, and I've seen them say that they don't want to they don't like doing VTuber model commissions because they don't think their art style would look very good in a VTuber model. And you know, sometimes I kind of understand. I know there was I think about Iris, her first design, Red Juice drew it, I believe. And his style is so cool, but I don't think it translated, unfortunately, that well to like movement, like VTuber movement. And it's good they were able to find a style that worked for her design. It's just what can look cool sometimes ends up not, unfortunately, looking not as cool. I think artists, especially that have a lot of detail, like very subtle detail, sometimes I think ends up, it doesn't translate as well to a VTuber model. I think there's a reason why a lot of, I would say the most successful VTuber artists, they have like, I don't want to call it, it's not simple, but it's simplified. They take like what looks nice, because they're very experienced VTuber model artists at this point. They take what looks nice and make it look even nicer in a model. I'm not happy with how this. I can't draw this bang. The bang is not banging right now. I think people that can do like clean sketches are truly God's favorites. My sketches are always, they're some of the messiest. But I guess there are some artists I've seen who have even messier sketches. Like I don't even know how they're able to understand what they drew. But I always tell myself that I should do more thumbnailing before, rather than sketching right from the get-go. Like I should do more of like this kind of stuff. But I just end up drawing pretty eyes and then drawing around the pretty eyes. Maybe that's why I end up just drawing cute girls in 3/4 angle. So, what have I been up to this weekend? I was already surprised it's Saturday. I feel like this week completely flew by. Maybe because I was just waiting for my tablet all week and I kept going, is it here yet? No. And then I can't believe it was supposed to come on Monday, and then here we are. It's Saturday and I'm finally getting to play with it. I can move this down. And so I had so much work I wanted to do this weekend, or this week, I should say, because there's a lot of stuff I've been wanting to get put together, and I've had to put off because I don't have the tablet. And this involves like stream related things. Like I want to work on some models for future use. This includes like a chibi model, but it's really hard to do that when you don't have a tablet. And I didn't want to do it with the, like I said, I didn't want to do it on Procreate. And so I've been like sketching. I've been at least using Procreate to sketch a lot of that out. But I've just kind of been in this limbo where I'm like waiting. Okay, like I need this new tablet. It's gonna come soon, guys. I know it's gonna come soon. And then it finally came. And now I feel like, okay, the floodgates are open. Like, I can do anything. I can do all this work that I finally said I was going to do. Now it's kind of up to me to actually do the work. Now it's like, oh my gosh, I have so much work to do. But in a good way. I mean, I obviously don't need to do any of this. This is all because I want to do it, and there's things I want to accomplish. Setting goals for myself and whatnot. Good for me, I guess. And so there's stuff like the chibi model I was talking about. There's a bacteria model I want to finish working on too. I had a little bit of the bacteria model done, but I think I made it unfortunately too small. And so when I like rigged it, it didn't end up looking as nice as it could have because of that. I thought because it was a little guy that maybe I don't need to do the whole 4,000 by 4,000 by 4,000 file size, but I made a mistake. And you do in fact still need a big file size even when you're working with a little dude. So when I rigged it, it just ended up kind of looking messy and a little pixely, and I wasn't happy with it, so I'm gonna redo that, which is fine. I can make it look even better. And there's the chibi model. I haven't even started like on that, but I know that I want to get the chibi model done. I would also like a PNG for some things, but that's like a pretty low priority. I'm just going through my mental list of the things I know I want to work on soon. And I also want to do some editing on my own model, but I realize it's gonna be a little bit more time consuming than that, because there are things that I really want to change with my model, but it won't be like as simple as like a asset, like changing one layer. It would probably require like reconstructing some line art, and so then it's like, it's so frustrating. And then I would want to re-rig some things. But that one's probably going to take the longest to do, but it's also not like too high priority. It's not the highest priority things. I need to like I should make like a Trello board for myself to figure out what my priority list is. Giving myself like a Trello board just to figure out what I want to do. Or else all my ideas, I think they're just gonna like sit in limbo if I don't do something like that. I know myself. You know, like when you know that you have all these things brewing in your brain, but it's so easy for like nothing to come about it. I think a lot of people go through something like that. I like to think most people are probably really creative, but they just don't either have the energy to fulfill whatever creative things they've got going on in their brain, which is fine, which is fair in our capitalistic society where we're working 9 to 5, most people. How can people be creative when capitalism is telling you need to be hustling and working every single day? You can't. She's right. Like I said, my sketching is so messy. I think the thing I especially want to change, it's not more like I don't like it, because I love my model. I'm really happy with how my model turned out, especially considering I rigged it and worked on it in like about 2 months or so, all while learning on the fly. There are just things I think I want to change. But I also know it's gonna be like a never-ending problem. I'm gonna update it once, and then I'm gonna keep wanting to update it. Can I just make a cute little like bust? I mean that looks fine too. I might work on this a bit later. I really like the feel of the screen. I'm really enjoying it. And I also have like this special little glove on, the one that you know, the half glove that you put on your pinky and your ring finger, makes you feel like super professional. It's kind of hot today, so it's like a little uncomfortably warm to be wearing a glove. I liked how that turned out. Do I line art it? Or do I just sketch another cute girl? I might sketch another cute girl. Yeah, I think I'm gonna sketch another cute girl. Okay, we'll put that on a different layer. Okay. What if I make like a chibi? Also, the one thing holding me back right now on like drawing a chibi is I'm so like blah, on how I want it to look, like what style. Like I don't know if I want like a super detailed chibi or like more simple, like a more simple gremlin like chibi. There's so many options. I know I could like realistically I could do it all if I want. I can make multiple models because who's stopping me? It's literally only myself. I think that's like, is that not the double-sided sword of being your own artist? It's not like there's no money stopping you. It's just you. I have to stop myself sometimes from opening live 2D and trying to fix something that I'm not happy with rig-wise after I rewatched my stream. Because I tell myself, literally, nobody cares. Literally, no one cares but you. But then, it also doesn't matter if nobody cares except me. If I care, isn't that like the most important part? If I'm not happy, then isn't that all that matters? But then that's also like, okay, your energy is being put to something that is going to be an endless battle. But I don't like that it's crooked. I made it crooked and I don't like it. Where's my symmetry tool? Symmetry. I need this in the middle of the screen. The symmetry tool is so much easier to use in Procreate. I want a big head. Big head. Big-headed microbe. Not with a sharp chin. I'm not a big fan of when the chibis have sharp, defined chins. I want the chibis to look chibi. That looks like a big head. Looks like a bit of an egg. Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work when it's symmetry tool. I used to be so good at drawing chibis, and I feel like I've lost my touch. That's like all I used to draw. Every time we go on this playlist and this song comes up, I can't help but not sing along. That reminds me, I wanted to set up my OBS to put like music on the separate track, especially for VODs. But I keep forgetting to do that every time I end stream. Watch me write this down, and I'm still gonna forget to do that. Because I want to play some Spotify playlists, but I don't want to do that if the audio is gonna get muted. So I have to go do the thing, but okay, I don't like how that looks. Delete it all, delete it all, delete it all, delete it all. I should just get a bigger pen. Yeah, well, that looks way better. I want the eyes to be more like that. There's also like a knobby knob to change the brush sizes easily, but I'm so not used to it, so I have not been using it. That looks kinda okay. I think I like when the models have big eyelashes, the chibi models. But maybe it's like I don't want like too many detail. Like I don't want like a bunch of little eyelashes, I don't think. Well, that just doing this also reminds me. I need to put together my reference sheet. My gosh, guys, there's so much work for me to do. My self-imposed work. My self-imposed work because I have goals I want to accomplish. Why am I doing this to myself when I have a full-time job that has nothing to do with art? Because I have goals I want to accomplish. Yeah. And then I'm like always torn on like what kind of bottom eyelashes I like on a chibi. Because I don't know, sometimes it can be like too many. And also it can give like your character a different vibe depending on how the eyelashes end up looking. Like I feel like now I did this one eyelash and I'm already verging on clown. Like, is this not giving clown? Like is this not giving sad clown? Okay, that I exaggerated that second triangle. Maybe I don't do like a big triangle. Maybe I just like. Okay, that looks better. Hi, Gran. And so I also like am always torn about how I want to draw the pupils. My eye pupil style just changes all the time. I think we're just unofficially working on the chibi model at this point. Or at least sketching how the chibi will look. I don't like a nose on a chibi. I think a nose on the chibi is a little too much. I think like a little shadow is probably pretty... That's good enough. Maybe her head is a little too tiny. Twitch doesn't want to give notifications when I go live? Oh, that's weird. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Maybe I'll look into seeing why. Like maybe I have some weird setting. I don't know. And then maybe... I feel like maybe her face is a little too vertical now. Maybe it needs to be more wide. More wide? But I don't want to do the wide. I don't want to make it too wide while I'm still doing symmetry. Unless I delete... I don't know. I can check... I can check if there's like something wrong with the setting. If I am doing something wrong. But I'm glad you were able to make it. And then... I think it's the nice thing about drawing while I'm streaming is I can just look up and see my own model and I go, oh right, that's how it looks. Get rid of the symmetry. I need to move this down. Move down. Oh, actually, I can't really move it or else it's gonna ruin the symmetry. Whatever. I'll just work with what I got right here. Well, I hope everyone's start of their weekend has been good so far. I ended up getting a lot of stuff done this morning. I had a lot of like errands I needed to do. Oh, you get a lot of Discord notifications. I feel like I don't get enough to warrant ever turning it off. Especially I also I would miss a lot of important communication. I think a lot of my friends, we only communicate through Discord. So I would, if I muted my notifications, I would not see what anyone is saying to me. It's kind of crazy that I feel like, I don't know how it is with other people, but I don't think I've used my like phone's actual texting like messenger, whatever you want to call it, for like years now. I don't know who texts. I don't even like give my number to anybody. Like I feel like if somebody wants my number, it's strange. Like what do you want? What do you want my number for? I know in like other countries, they also don't use, like they don't text either. They use like WhatsApp. But WhatsApp is not very popular and nowhere close to the popularity it is in like other internationally in America. I recently did like a big wipe of all the Discord servers I was in because I was just in way too many. Way too many things were giving me notifications that I don't care about. Oh wait, I'm drawing and I realize what's the problem here. I'm drawing without symmetry. It's like something looks off. It's because I don't have symmetry on, buddy. No symmetry tool. Like, why am I drawing and something's looking not symmetrical? I wish there was an easy button I can like put to toggle off my symmetry when I need it. Yeah, okay. And then now that I'm like putting the face together, I do think, oh frickers, I made a mistake. I have to I need to cut this out. Cut and paste. That's better. I did the thing where it's I did the thing where it's on the wrong layer. Oh yeah, thank you for sharing those pictures of Wilbur. They were so cute. He's so adorable. I'm sure other people thought it was cute too. He's pretty big. Not huge. I know there's like really big pigs out there, but he is a bit of a chonker. No offense to Wilbur. Wilbur is the perfect size, don't get me wrong. He is adorable and perfect, and I hope nobody ever tells him otherwise. Yeah, pigs are just chunky. I've seen I know hogs are a little different than pigs, but I've seen giant pictures of wild boars and hogs, and it's crazy how huge they can get. They can get enormous. What was it? There was that article about the super pigs, the super hogs that are from Canada, and they're wreaking havoc in the American farms, and they're resistant to so many things, and they're you must shoot the super pigs on sight when you see them, or else they will destroy your farm. £80. Oh, 80 pounds is pretty heavy. I wouldn't I'm a very weak person. I wouldn't be able to lift a 80-pound chunker. To expand the canvas. Canvas properties. Hold on. He's the same height and length as my sister. Oh, that's funny. They're the same length and height. What if I just made this really tall? That helps. Good. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, 80 pounds? 80 pounds is kind of heavy. I don't, I would, Wilbur can beat me up, likely. Not that I think Wilbur would beat me up if I don't mess with him. I'm putting all my energy into focusing on that. Okay. That didn't look good. That didn't look good at all. Okay, I'll just delete that for now. It doesn't look good with lines. And then I want this to be more prominent here. And I also want this to be bigger. Yeah. Yeah, I mean 80 pounds is pretty heavy. I don't know, I feel it just might also just be dangerous to pick him up if you can't you don't want him to fall or anything if you're struggling. 80 pounds. A very adorable pig though. Very cute. Okay, now I feel like it is too vertical. I think I might bring it down just a bit. Okay. Now she's looking a little square, but I think that looks fine. Square chibi. Okay, here's like the dilemma I have is I usually don't know if I want to make a little neck, but I think I should make a little neck because VTubers without a little neck are they can make it hard for rigging purposes. Because you don't like you need to be able to like do neck turning, and then when you don't have like the little neck to do it base it off of, it's really annoying. Is what I learned when I was playing around making other little models. Oh no, dogs. There's my dog used to eat skin to red. It's oh yeah, I mean 80. That's probably like it's probably taking quite a beating with an 80-pound dog 80-pound pig regularly using it. Also, another one of my chibi problems is I feel like I end up getting way too detailed in the body when it's supposed to be way more chibi like. I think okay, I want to make it longer, the torso, the body longer, but I should just stop it there. He also put a hole in it. Apparently it's oh, he's chewing the cardboard. He can't resist the lovely temptations of cardboard. Corrugated cardboard. Understandable. It gets us all. You know, that reminds me of like one of those weird videos I've seen about, I think it's like a TLC show about people like freaky eaters. But I've seen like people they'll just eat paper and like cardboard no problem. And when I first saw that, I was like there's no way. But then I do remember when I used to like work with like other people, like work with students and young kids. I just saw kids just eating like paper. Just I was like, what are you doing? I would have to tell some of these students like, can you please stop eating paper? Can you please not eat paper right in front of me? Is that weird looking? Is it too? It's kind of like, I don't really like how the legs turned out. They're like. I'm sure they grow out of that as like, they grow out of it when they grew out of it when they got older. But it's crazy how many kids I had to tell to stop eating it. No, it's not just an animal thing. Those little kids, those 10-year-olds, they were just chewing on paper. Maybe they are going back to animal. Oh, I used to teach elementary and middle schoolers for like summer programs about science. We would work with kids of all over just to teach them what science is about. Just for like a summer. Usually it was only a few weeks long. I don't like how those look. I'm deleting it all. I would never be a teacher though. God no. That sounds like a nightmare for that to be my career. But it's fun to like work with them at like at a distance. And also not have to deal with school funding and all the shenanigans involved with getting like money to teach. Maybe their shoulders are too big. I actually think that might be the reason why I don't like it. Teaching in America is unfortunately not the move. At least teaching like in a public school. Maybe it's better if you're a private school teacher, but I typically worked with like city students, people who were from impoverished backgrounds. So we would teach the little kids like, this is what a science is, because they don't have science classes in their public school. I imagine the future when I'm old and have had a long paleontology career, I wouldn't mind being a professor at my university. I guess it depends. I don't know how it is in paleontology, but like in the biomedical sciences, being a professor is very, very difficult. Like unfortunately it's not really like it's not an easy job to waltz into usually. A lot of times the professors, depending on what kind of university you're at, usually you have to be pretty active. You have to be an active researcher. So you're only there because, they're giving you they want you to produce research. But if you're not at a research university, it's probably not as bad. Being a professor also, unfortunately, sounds... when I was younger, I did think I wanted to be a professor or of some kind. But after being in undergrad and grad school and going through the whole academia process, I'm pretty over academia, unfortunately. It is a very, very toxic environment, which is sad to say. Oh, you watched the video thing. Yeah. My mouse is being all weird right now. Oh, you went to a STEM school. Oh, that's nice that you were able to get that kind of funding. Or, opportunity. A lot of students, unfortunately, don't get that chance. So their scientific, knowledge of science in general is pretty abysmal. Yeah. So annoying. Okay. One thing that's annoying is my mouse is, freaking out. Okay. I have to figure out why it's freaking out. It was a Magnet Academy. I'm not really familiar with the Magnet, programs. I don't really understand them. To be able to comment on, how that is. I feel like her legs are too short. When I would teach a lot of the students that I worked with. Oh, that looks maybe better. Yeah, a lot of the students I worked with, sometimes there would be people from well-off schools. They're just there because their parent told them they should join this program. Yeah, it was it's always insane to see the difference in education levels. And it's not like they're even from a different state or different city. They're literally in the same city. Just one is in a nicer area and the other is in a not so nice area. Wow, through lottery. That's insane. Sometimes I feel like some people's lives are just so much more different than anything I ever could have thought of. Or at least their childhood. I could not imagine going through any of that. My mom just put me in whatever school was closest to me. Well, that's good to hear. I think research institutions are usually the best to be in if you care about, like, science. I know some people, they've had some success in non-research institutes, but, like, I know some scientists who have gone to, like, liberal art institutes, and they still succeeded. I think it's just a little bit harder when you don't get research experience. Or like, you can't easily get research experience in undergrad. I know a lot of people that had to, most of their research experience was through REUs and, like, different companies. I see. I typically, when I was going through, yeah, ad break. Why are drawing glasses so hard? I'm not happy with any of these. And then I turn this off. I need a drink of water also. Hold on. I put my water bottle so far away from me. Okay. I see. I understand why my mouse is all weird. My mouse cursor does not instantly move. I didn't bring a snack bowl with me. Sorry, it probably made a lot of noise doing all that. I'm staring at this chibi really hard right now. I'm staring real hard. This. You got booted from stream and came back to no ads? Well, welcome back. Well, if you leave the ad break, you shouldn't, like, I don't think you'll see ads because the pre-rolls are off. Oh, thanks, Caledonia. My local science museum is owned by said university. Also, director of a museum. That is so cool. There was also a point where I really, really love museums. I think museums are some of the best. They're so cool. Any kind of museum is really good. Like, I love art museums. Anything like that. But I thought maybe I wanted to work in a museum one day when I was a kid. But I realized it's kind of like, unfortunately, usually it's not a financially viable career option usually. And I unfortunately had to think a lot about what's financially viable. Kind of needed the money. Oh. Ads should be almost over though. The ad break is finishing now. Okay. Well, welcome back again. Yeah, it's competitive and not paid well. I also think you need pretty specific education, like a specialized degree in it, like some kind of master's program that's highly specific to it. This is like, I feel like I ran into this issue a lot when I was thinking about careers. I just kept thinking about things I liked and then learning that they're not fine, they're not paid very well. and or they're like, it's so highly specific that if you don't get into this career, now you have a degree that's really specific to this thing only, and what are you going to do now? And that made me very sad many times. That's why I ended up going with a much more general career goal, which was just biochem. I figured I can do something sciencey related to it. Sucks that life is like that, where you have to give up some passions and interests for the money. I think people, if you can like do your passion, I'm very, very, very happy for you. Very proud of you too. Oh, you volunteered and got to teach kids. I always think those are really good opportunities. When I was in undergrad, I would take advantage of that so often. But I feel like nowadays, maybe I should maybe do more of that. It always made me feel good about myself when I would volunteer. I have not put in the volunteer out, like the volunteer time that I know that I should be doing to make my heart feel better. Not because I need to. It's just I just want to. It makes me feel good to give back. It was run by a director. That's good. It's like it sounds like it was like a good for you like feeling, and also probably good like networking and resume kind of thing. And I started like doing volunteering in undergrad because I knew that it was it was kind of like important, but it also just ended up making me feel good. I think maybe I will think about doing more of those things. But there's things I want to do for like on stream too. I would like to do a charity stream, and this year it would be nice to do a charity stream. I want to like do one for cancer research. Probably will be later this year. Especially because I don't think I would do anything. I don't want to like. I wouldn't want to do a personal subathon or anything because it's. I don't really. I appreciate like subs and all that, but I don't really want to take your. I don't really want to take people's money and use it for my own self. I'd rather like give that money to like important things like science. First one we thought leaves. Ah, that sounds like a really cute experience. That I mean, yeah, that sounds wonderful. to turn this off. There's a pocket right here. Put it back on. I would have to think about what kind of there's like so many different like cancer research funds I would think about wanting to do a donathon for. When I see people like Iron Mouse do like their IDF research, I wanna do stuff like that too. Though I know my audience is way smaller, but you know, maybe hopefully by like the end of the year's time we grow a little bit more. It's only been like 3 months or so. No, don't throw her to the autoclave. Please don't throw her to the autoclave. She deserves to live a little longer. That. I think this sketch looks a little good. It's looking fine. Now I would have to like consider how I want to like render it. Those emotes. You're so silly, Caldonia. The only reason I knew about that joke is I saw it. Yeah, if you don't go on Twitter or X, so many people I'll just say random things on Twitter and people will they'll just go throw me into the autoclave. If you don't know what an autoclave is, it's like a really, really, really hot, like it's pressure. They just keep throwing me in there. Yeah, if you work in microbiology, they will... That's like one of the most important things you can work with, because everything needs to be sterile. You need to work with sterile things. No microbes, not a single microbe. Let's do maybe like some basic coloring to think about what it should look like. Where's my brush? What brush? Okay, now I don't know what color brushes I want to use. I don't like working with the autoclave. The autoclave is kind of scary. Until you've worked with it, like when it starts like yelling at you, like it starts making loud noises where steam comes out, it can be frightening. It's also just really dangerous. It's so like it can hurt you. Also, people break the autoclave so often in research institutions because it's really easy to break. You like put a piece of plastic in there that you think is autoclave safe, and then it just melts, and now everyone on that floor, they don't have an autoclave to use. And then they go, who did it? Who broke the autoclave? And you probably don't say it was you. You probably shouldn't say it was you. You can tell your lab. You can tell your lab that it was you, but you don't want the other people. You don't want the other people to know. You don't want the other people on the floor to hate you forever. I'm using the complete wrong colors also. These are not my colors. Melted microwave covers via the stove. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of microwave covers to melt. I'm trying to find the right green without going to eyedropper. Okay, that looks closer. My gosh. I live next door to a child, or at least someone's kid lives there. I just heard them like unleash the craziest scream right now. Wild little guy. It is raining like crazy all of a sudden. All of a sudden, rain decided to just pour right out of the sky. I should maybe really close my windows, but it kind of feels nice. It's been so hot here for the past few days. It's been... Okay, it's not so hot. If I said the temperature, people would be like, that's not even that hot. But it feels way too hot for April, is what I'll say. It's like 79 degrees. It's like uncomfortable. It's like a temperature I don't want to deal with for spring. I didn't even get a chance to wear any hoodies. It went from like cold, uncomfortably cold, to like too hot for hoodies real fast. Where's my spring? I wanted to wear a hoodie outside. Oops, wrong pen. I should turn off symmetry tool. What am I doing? What? Also, I'm just on the wrong layer all the time. Just constantly on the wrong layer. Okay. Wow, it is raining like crazy. I don't know if it's rain or it's just really windy. It's like really, really loud. Like it's going whoosh, 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 whoosh. There's a giant tree next to my window, so like every time like the wind whooshes just a bit, I can hear it. And my windows are like wide open right now. It was too much. It was too hot to deal with. Windows closed. No, that's not the right color. That's also not really the right color. That's a bit of the right color. Okay, I didn't intend to make my sketch for my chibi model on stream, but then it just ended up being that way. Here we are. It's kind of productive. I'm being productive. Productive. I can cross something off of the Trello, my future Trello to-do board already. And then these shoes are also there's so many. I'm like doing things to my design that I know aren't even in this current model, but it's something I know I want to adjust later in my future model. Skin tone color. Oh gosh, I need to move all my color palettes. My color palettes have to be moved. Like this is like way too dark. It's cute. Good enough. So with that, how do I need to crop this a bit. It's way too big. Crop. There you go. We cropped it. And maybe, I guess since I'm already here, shouldn't I just do a little bit more like refining? Let me make a folder. Folder. This is the sketch folder. Oh, didn't add that. Get in there. You can't see me fighting with the layer system right now. Is there something in here? Oh, it is. Yeah. Wait, why are some of these not in here? Wait. A different sketch. Why are they not? Oh, okay. I'm just stupid. Okay. So, since we're already here, maybe I'll do some line arting for the model. I can actually start to think about why I want, like, what I want here. Oh, line arting on this feels kind of nice. Like, I feel like one of my big problems, I complained a lot about I don't like to do line art on the iPad because it involves me, like, squishing my back and, like, hunching over. But the screen is so big with this tablet that I feel like I can get way more mileage in here. Hello, Weetabix. Thank you for checking in. Oh, that reminds me. I saw there is a widget for, like, to have an on-screen notification for check-ins, like daily check-ins, and I wanted to buy that. I have to remember that for the next stream. Gotta remember that for the next stream. Okay. I said I would like line arting more, but maybe I don't. Maybe I just hate line arting. Oh wait, my symmetry tool. My symmetry. The follow goal is complete. Thank you for following, Fairy Woods. Ah, we have 70 followers. Thank you, thank you. 70 of them. That's a lot. Okay, don't tell me it's not a lot, but it's a lot for me. I was doing like a little roundup of how many followers we have all over across all the different social medias, and we are like around 400, which I'm pretty pleased with. You know, so thank you. Thank you to everyone who's following and chatting and stopping by and lurking. I appreciate every single one of you. You make my heart full. Oh, thank you for checking in, Gren. Oh, hydration. That's a good idea. I have not been drinking. Ah. Delicious water. Oh man, something about pushing a button to do undo is really nice. When you're on the iPad, usually how you have to hit undo is like you have to two-fingered tap on the screen. But it really, like, it was starting to hurt my fingers to like constantly two-finger tap. Sorry if I'm more quiet while I do line art. It's using my whole brain to figure out if I'm happy. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do after stream? Because it's all rainy, I'm gonna make like a hot tea. Hot beverage sounds really nice right now. Now that it's like all cooled, a nice hot beverage would go crazy. Can I zoom in? Tactile zoom in. Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom. I recently bought No, 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 not the autoclave. No, 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 no. No autoclave. We're not going into the autoclave. You guys can't make me go into the autoclave. I'm gonna break your autoclaves. And then they're gonna be in repair for like 2 months. I remember that's how long the autoclave that broke on one of my labs took to get repaired. And so you would have to go grab all your things that you needed sterilized and like lug it over to a different department and go, hi guys, sorry, our autoclave's broken, can we use your autoclave? And then they're like, get on the list, and then you'd have to wait. And you're like a second class citizen because it's not your department's autoclave. You have to be patient and wait for everyone else to like in that department to finish. It was rough. That's why I said don't tell anyone if the autoclave breaks. I mean, tell your PI, but don't tell other people. They're gonna hate you. I think anytime I broke a piece of lab equipment, which is unfortunately a bit too common. I think I've broken way too many things in lab. You have to, first time you do it, it's really scary, and then the second time you do it, it's not as scary. It's still scary because you just wasted a lot of money. But I've learned the only person you really should tell is your direct supervisor. The other people don't need to know that you ruined something. Take it from me, who told people they ruined something and people got mad at me. Many of the things I've broken involve like lab goods that weren't used by anyone but me. I broke a centrifuge before, and that was pretty scary. It was scary because of the fact of how loud. When you break something, it's so loud. It's like the centrifuge breaking especially. It's like a loud boom, 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 crack. It was only a benchtop centrifuge, though. Thankfully, I've heard of people who have broken like the big boys, like the big guys that you put like huge things in, and that sounds. It was from what I did something like I made a really stupid mistake. We were trying to I was trying to like shred some tissue, and we usually put these little steel balls into the Eppendorf tube to like shred him. But I used the wrong kind of tube, so when I like spun them, the little steel balls like flew right out of the tube and like started bouncing around really fast in the centrifuge, and like it broke the rotor. It was really loud and scary. And it happened so fast. I started the machine, it started spinning and went pew mew mew, and it looked like it was going. It basically became like a blender. And like the moment it started getting to the RPM that it needed to spin, it completely lost control, and it just broke. It was just, luckily it was like not dangerous. I was worried like, oh my gosh, what if like what if the steel balls start flying out of the centrifuge? But no, nothing like that happened. But it was a pretty insta death for the centrifuge. Insta death at like, I was doing this experiment. It was like a 2-part sadness. It was like, I want to say it was like 1 a.m. I was doing this experiment because it took that long to get everything. Like I was doing something that started at like 9 a.m. and so we started with live mice that were being had undergone like starvation for like a day, and then doing all the analyses I needed on the mice, and then to the tissue collection, and then I needed to process it. It was going to be like, it was supposed to be like a 24-hour experiment, which, I mean, clearly it didn't go well because I couldn't think at 1 a.m. to put, I couldn't think at 1 a.m. to put the right tubes in. I was very sad to lose all that tissue. It was also just so stinky. Like, it was like tubes of like you know, solution to like get the tissue like all shredded, and then steel balls, and then mouse tissue everywhere. It's a nasty looking centrifuge. And everyone asked me like, what happened? I'm like, you know, the steel ball bearings did. I don't like how that looks. I'm gonna erase it. Trying to think. I think I own one of the. I didn't do this. I was in the vicinity when I saw this happen, though. I think I saw someone almost break the flow cytometry machine, which is a very, very expensive machine. If you guys aren't aware, think of it like as a giant like live fluorescence. You know, capturing live cell, like you're putting one cell at a time, and then it's reading what dyes that each cell is giving off, and you're using specific dyes that correspond to different markers, etc., etc. So you get to see like a live analysis of what's going on, or I should say like a real-time analysis. And I saw someone, I don't know exactly what they were doing, but the machine just started like making this loud noise that I've never heard of it before, and it was insane. And I was like, oh my gosh, good thing that's not me. That's why taking breaks is important. Yeah, taking breaks is very important. It was like, I think that when I did that day was like a big wake up of like, something needs to give here. I don't know if I can, like, this does not seem sustainable. I'll say I'm glad I'm going into biology, not biology, because all the tissue I'm working on, I don't know if I can deal with mice. You know, even if there's a lot of people who work in biology who don't like work with like any live specimens. And like, so, you know, if you did want to work in biology, there's always like those kind of options too. There's people that only work in like data now. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, that sentiment is becoming a lot more popular with like upcoming scientists, is they don't want to work with like mice or kill mice. And I think that's completely understandable. I think we are going to see a shift, like a bit of a paradigm shift when it comes to the use of mice in science experiments. In fact, it's already kind of happening with the FDA doing that announcement this month where they're looking to fund AI driven experiments and in silico analyses rather than mice studies or live animal studies, which is very controversial. I just simply because I don't think our science is there yet to take advantage of AI. We just don't know enough about our human, just biology and how the way the body works to be able to model it accurately. But I also get it. Like I think encouraging the switcheroo, is probably good. Don't know about the clean turkey like approach they're going for though. Yeah, it can be. I want it like this is like the unfortunate thing that's been going on is there's been a lot of, I would say, like the concept is not so bad. The execution is not great. Not great at all. Especially in science. I think the concept of moving away from animal models is very, very good. Because there are a lot of problems with the current mouse models. Even I experienced this in grad school. We were looking at, for my grad school experiment, I was looking at fat tissue in mice. And there were some issues of like how clinically relevant our project would be in humans. Because certain things were just not really reflective of what goes on in a human, in human biology. And I would go, that's fair. Like, I agree. I don't know how we would deal with that. Yeah, lots of acting on limited information. It's a lot of rash decision making, unfortunately, going on. Not much, not much else to say about that. I just simply hope that, as nothing proves to be too fatal. Too fatal. There might be there. I really don't know what's gonna go with how the FDA plans on moving forward with their AI approach. I don't know if they even know how they plan on moving forward with that themselves. I'll be honest. I think there's a lot going on in government agencies right now to be worrying about the science. The science just kind of seems like it's on the back burner. Wow, that was a loud thunderstorm. It went in a bitter boom. The kid is crying now next door. Poor kid. It's okay. Thunder is not that scary when you're inside. I love Cooking Mama's soundtrack. Speaking of games, I've been playing so much Expedition 33 lately. I'm so sad. Well, what I learned is I could have streamed it, but now it's too late. I don't want to start the game over from the beginning. But I could have streamed it because I've been playing it through GeForce Now, which is like the cloud gaming service, and because I was getting upset at how ugly the game looked on my computer. I had to put it on. I couldn't stream it because it was going to be on the lowest settings. But then I realized I can barely play the game on my own PC. Like, I had to turn off like every single like graphic option. No motion blur, no like little overlays, and no textures, nothing. Yeah, it's really cool. If anyone's like interested in like turn-based games, I highly recommend it. It's really interesting to see a Western turn-based game. It has like the AAA quality, but it feels so much like a JRPG. Like, you can tell how much they love Final Fantasy games just through playing it. There's like so many side quests and optional content, and it's just fantastic. It's also just beautiful, and the music is really well done. I think I have like 20 hours in it right now. I've been doing a lot of things that I've been putting off things I wanted to work on simply because I keep playing it. I was checking up on some science news, paleontology news. I'm curious, and so 113 million year old hell ant. Wow. In Brazil. Wow, 113 million year old. That is so old. Brazil. I feel like finding insects, especially, that must be difficult. Ants have, I figured insects have been around for that long. Finding them must be so difficult though. Surely there's so many like insects we could that were around back then. I am not very like well versed in paleontology. They're among the first animals to come to land. Oh, I did not know that. Ants are kind of weird. Like, weird in a good way. I enjoy all those videos of people having ant farms. Oh, insects, yeah. Yeah, okay. Myriapods beat them for. Oh, blueprints. See, I've been debating if I want to play that on stream or not. Like, I've been watching a lot of streamers play it, but that whole trying to keep it very minimally spoiled, because I do want to play it, but I'm like hesitant about how if I want to do it or not, because I know I would, I don't know, I'm not like I'm not that great at those kind of games, and then I don't want to get backseated to heck. I also don't want to get spoiled, really. Myriapods or millipedes? Oh, I see. I didn't know that. But yeah, blueprint. I'm like still debating if I want to put blueprints on my schedule next week or not. We'll see though. 1 or 2 runs a day. It looks really fun. It looks right up my alley. I do love like a puzzle roguelike. Is like, if someone described the kind of game that they would be developing, that would be, for me, that would be it. I'm just worried, like, I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I should not be worried. Or maybe I'll just I'll think about it. I have to still think of my schedule. The first footprints of the Ankylosaurus has been found. Wow, so much exciting paleontology news. It's been an exciting week. It sounds like, or day. Maybe it's just an exciting day. Symmetry. No symmetry. Ankylosaurs are the armored ones, which ad club. Oh. I feel like most streamers are really wanting to finish what is basically the game's tutorial, since it looks like it takes an average of 15 hours. Oh, I had no idea it was actually that long. I feel like I've mostly watched streamers do the same thing, and they all mostly seem to be at the same part, and then they don't they don't stream it again. Where is it? Oh, for the last 2 weeks. Okay. It's been an exciting last 2 weeks of paleontology then. Has there been anything like interesting scientific like in my scope of science news? I'm like racking my brain to see if I can think of anything off the top of my head. No. No, not really. Well, there's interesting things happening this weekend probably, or like getting presented. This weekend is what's it called again? American Association for Cancer Research 2025 conference is going on. AACR is going on this weekend. So there's probably going to be a lot of big biology, cancer biology, and like that kind of research dropping this weekend, which I'm excited to read about. Hopefully some new therapeutic information. There's some other stuff in the news for paleontology, but it's kind of meh. I mean, it doesn't sound like that different from like your typical day-to-day science. If you like skim through any kind of science journals on a weekly basis, you'll find that most times there's not a lot of big discoveries. It's just tiny finds. Tiny finds that will be big in the grand scheme of things if their research effort gets there. Like, for my work, I have to look through like the different journals that publish like every week or so, and there's so many different journals. I look at like the journal of content releases for like maybe like 6 different journals a week, and try to see if there's anything interesting just based on the titles alone, and most times there's not really anything interesting. Even for like microbiology news, I like to try to share fun, cool things, but most times there's not. Unfortunately, cancer biology is one thing, but in the microbiology sphere, there's not a lot of like interesting day-to-day things to share about microbiology developments. Most of the time, the news that you'll see is very, very highly specific. Like they'll find like a pathway for a specific bacteria from, yeah. It's never that exciting. Oh. 20 million year old crayfish species, 125 million year old isopod fossil. Wow. So many big discoveries. I wish those were more open to people not in school. Hard to read for free as. Yeah, it's so unfortunate how inaccessible journals are. There's such a crazy amount of information out there, but it's literally paywalled, and the paywall is like, there's no reason why a normal person would want to pay the $30 an article. I don't even know. Maybe you can, I don't think you can pay per journal like release even. Like I think you have to kind of pay per article. like ways you can get around the paywall, but it's not very like I hate doing it, and I'm thankful that I work somewhere where I can get free institutional access to journals, but it's just so stupid. Yeah, I don't blame people who like do perhaps some illicit ways to get around the paywalls. That's just kind of what the sciences make you end up doing if you want that information. It's always like the way people say, if you don't want people to pirate games, make them affordable. And it actually works. 7 Days of Science, they do a good breakdown of science news of the week. They often cover big paleontology stuff as well, which is fun. Now you see, yeah, I think that's why there's so much content like that, which is breaking down like news of the week, because it's just so inaccessible for your average person to go out and look for that information themselves. There's either a paywall or it's just like scattered across so many journals. I want to check the methodology and quality of some of the studies that pop up in the news. Oh yeah, that's a big problem I find too. I like to frequent the r/science subreddit pretty often, and they will take like quite a clickbaity title for the paper, and then I need to like see what's actually happening, like to know like what's this study, is this study actually like something I can like trust. And a lot of times I find that when I look at the methodology or like their patient data or what they're doing, it's not really that great of a paper. It's really not. But you wouldn't be able to tell if you're only able to see the abstract, because you can't see like this is how these are the specific patients they picked. They went straight to the news and they use AI to assess. Oh, Egyptian power plant study. Yeah, and yes, yeah, that's also true. Sometimes they will make like like a clickbaity title, and it's not actually what the conclusion of the paper is saying, which is awful. I would be so like I'd be upset as the author of the paper to have my like work clickbaited like that. Clickbaited wrongly. It's not for your. Yeah, I found that sometimes a lot of studies that get headlines, they're not even like peer reviewed. They're not in a reputable journal whatsoever. There's nothing going on for them. Just say what the title paper is about actually in the title. I know. It's unfortunate that we live in like a clickbait society. The clickbait has like come for every single field. Hard to get away from it. I think it has to do with the fact that so many of these fields are now pretty deeply entrenched in social media of some kind. I know a lot of scientists, they talk about they have to engage so much on social media nowadays to like, get their name out there. And they try to really sell their research to be big. Yeah, exactly. Clicks can translate to funding. Yes. It's like science is obviously not as big of a problem in this regard compared to like entertainment industries. Like I've heard some actors and actresses talk about how they can't get roles or they can't get funding for their projects if they don't have a certain amount of Instagram followers. Like they just won't get the money, even though they might be more than qualified. They just need to have engagement of some kind. And science is not that bad yet, but I think it's like approaching in that kind of in that kind of like way. I know of some people that have talked about how they've been denied getting like conference speaking roles, like to do an oral presentation in a conference because they just don't have much funding. Like they just don't have much of a platform on social media for the conference to take advantage of. And then when you don't have those things, it makes it harder to get funding because now instead of an oral presentation, you have just a poster presentation, and so on and so forth. New species of sauropod dinosaurs, the long necks, dirt ant. My goodness, they are finding so many things. Who would have thought this world is full of so many things and so many species of animals all across the world, in all these different countries? It's almost like our world is so old. I hate that they're trying to monetize science. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just how how society is. Like if we're a capitalist society, and that's just the way things go. Unfortunate. I don't want it to be like that though. Don't want it to be capitalistic. But someone's gotta pay the money. And unfortunately that means some things you do some dastardly things like clickbait and paywall and blah blah blah. It sucks. It sucks so much. When I don't know if anyone's ever like been to one of those big science conferences. I go to them about every year or so for work. But when you go to them, it feels like such a, I don't know how to describe it. It's quite like a capitalistic marketing hellhole, and it doesn't even really feel like a science conference. It's like there's so many bright lights and advertisements literally everywhere. It's This is specifically, I've only gone to the really big cancer research related ones, and so of course you have huge companies there. You have like Eli Lilly and Johnson and Johnson and Takeda Pharmaceuticals, blah blah blah. Literally all, like, think of any of the biggest like companies in the world currently, and they are like in those, they are there. So it's just like it felt like walking into like Times Square when you would go to the exhibition hall, because there's just ads and giant monitors of like everything everything like trying to sell you something and trying to get you to buy something, buy this service, buy our like consulting, buy our product, buy this, buy that, we're hiring, etc., etc. It was like really overwhelming when I first went to one. You can only think about baby so no, well, they are a huge pharmaceutical company, like incredibly big. They've got a lot of products. Like we went, like I passed by the Eli Lilly booth, and oh my gosh, it was incredible how huge it was. And all these exhibition booths, they know they need people to visit, and so they would all have like little gimmicks to get people to visit, like, and then make you listen to their like marketing spiel because you want their free things. Like I think Eli Lilly was giving out free donuts. Like they had like a guy making donuts in their booth, and he like and cooking them fresh, and you just had to sit around and listen to their spiel about like antibodies that they're selling or therapeutics that they're selling, and then you get a free donut. It was a very overwhelming process when I first went to one. I will hydrate. Also, ad break in 30 seconds. They were good donuts. I don't regret sitting there and like getting marketed to. I even like you would get so many you get so much swag in these conferences too. I got so many like t-shirts and pens of all kinds. But cancer research shouldn't be like that though. There should be more about like information. It shouldn't be such a giant walking research like. And I have been to like a biochemistry like protein related one, and it was also similarly like people selling you antibodies. I mean, all these conferences are just marketing. It's just all marketing. It's like a giant ad, no matter where you go. These people, they're not there just because for the love of the game. They're there because they have things to sell you. They've got funding they want. It's just the level extent to it might be a bit different. Oops. I hit my microphone, sorry. I think the worst booth I went to in one of these cancer research conferences, they were selling like healthy, like they had like a smoothie section and you can get like a free smoothie, but they were all healthy, quote unquote healthy smoothies. They were absolutely disgusting, and because of that I don't remember the company name because I didn't want to remember who that was. I understand trying to attract them. Yeah, I also like, I mean, it's also like a good way to try to get hires too. I mean, you look, you can say like how big your company is. Like they can afford this, platinum level sponsorship deal in the conference. We're a big rich company. You'll feel financially secure here. We can offer you a big salary of some kind, etc. Every time we've had a booth at a cancer conference, though, we're like a super teeny tiny, like we take up like the tiniest little bit of the exhibition hall. We're in the rows of the people who are tiny companies. We're trying to, and when I'm there, I'm also trying to sell things. I'm trying to sell like our service, our like annotation services to people. I'm trying to get people to use our service. I'm not free from this marketing, like, I'm not free from it either. Even like poster presentations, they're kind of like a bit of an advertisement. You're just trying to kind of like trying to show off what you've got, what your lab's doing, and then kind of throw the feelers out for potential like collaboration efforts. Is there anyone who can help us out with this research project? Blink, wink, 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 wink. Stuff like that. There's obviously like a love of there's obviously love of the game involved. Like, you know, you want to show off your cool science. Ad break over. Welcome back. You want to show off your potential science know-how and your research qualities to people, but I know a lot of people, they do get a lot of collaboration efforts done through poster presentations. It's like networking. Welcome back. Welcome back. Do I have a poster presentation this year? I don't. I just trying to think of if I have to present a poster. I think poster presentations are usually the fun part of a conference. Albeit boring sometimes. You just have to stand there. I hate the ones, like conferences, where you have to stand at your poster for like 8 hours. It's so tiring. And you just don't get any, you just have one chair and you just sit there and then you have to wait for people to come up to you and then you have to talk and talk and talk for, it's like fun for like the first 4 hours, and then like the last 4 hours I'm like, I wanna get out of here. Get me out of here right now. Ah, thank you for the head pat. Yeah. Can't get this curve I want right. Conferences are just so tiring. I like appreciate going to them, but they are so exhausting. For that whole weekend, it's just too much. I always feel like I need like a week of recovery following a conference. I'll be going to one not this month, next month. So I will. No streams probably that whole week because I'll be way too exhausted. And literally, you just have to sit around networking to all these people. Yeah, it's really exhausting. And then also you have to look very professional. And it's not like you're just like, when people come to talk to you, they're not like talking like, happily. No, it's not like they're not happy, but you have to talk business for like 8 hours and research. It is quite an effort. But at least like I like the traveling aspect of conferences. That's probably my favorite. Going all over the world, even just for a weekend, it's pretty fun. And you don't have to pay. Yippee. So I think my job, I think they're thinking of like, how do we make it so we don't, like, maybe we should just do online conferences only. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad. But the way things are of late, we probably should tighten up on like budget. But it was also nice, like I will be sad not traveling, but then also just doing all that from home sounds way better. But maybe it's also like a bit exhausting thinking about it just being completely online. That means now like I have no excuse why I didn't miss somebody's poster. Like a lot of times when I'm there, it's about me keeping an eye on what research is going on in the world, the cancer biology world. And you can only look at so many talks and posters just because there's literally thousands of different things being presented in one weekend. But now if I'm like just sitting there and I'm just clicking away, maybe now I'll have higher expectations to make sure to capture everything. Oops. You know, it's the most awkward thing as like someone who's at a conference, when I am like to collect data. It's the awkwardness of asking people, can I take a picture of their poster? When I first went to a conference, I didn't realize like that's like decency. You have to like ask before you snap a picture. But then I got in trouble once. I remember I took a picture of someone's research poster, and then they said, "No, I need you to delete that right now." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." They were very, 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 very private and secretive, and so then since then, now I know you need to say something before you go to a conference, and we want to take a picture of their project. I just wanted to remember what their stuff was about, so I can like go look at it later. And surprisingly, a lot of groups, they don't... Well, maybe not surprisingly. I guess it depends on how you view the state of science, but most people, they are not very happy with getting their posters pictures taken. But this is also like cancer research. They're probably really worried about getting scooped. All that work done and then getting scooped. Maybe scooped by a giant corporation, a mega pharmaceutical corporation. That'd be pretty nasty. Easier to get distracted or not pay attention when remoting, though. Yeah. I feel like when you sit at a conference panel for a specific talk, you've got nothing to do but pay attention. Because I can't rip out my phone. Well, I can. The amount of people I see, like faculty at a panel, and they'll just sit there. Guy is lecturing, and then they're just like clearly not paying attention whatsoever. But I feel like I look way too young and inexperienced and like newbie to be able to get away with something like that. And I don't want to do it. It feels kind of rude. This guy is doing his best lecturing at us, and you're just gonna sit here and go on your phone? No. No. I think I want to separate this. I'll do that afterwards. I forget how difficult it is to think about how I want to do a VTuber model line art on the fly. I'm surprised they would show something they are private about in a setting where someone could take it without... Yeah, I also thought that too. I was like, why? Like someone could easily just snap a picture quietly. They've caught me because I was being really like super obvious. Like I literally like they were talking and I like stood in front of the poster and just like went, yeah, I'm taking a picture right now. And like, you know, but someone could have easily just like snapped a picture on the low, like, you know, not angle it and just snap something like a figure that they think is really relevant and be really sneaky with it. And I'm sure people do that. I doubt like they're stopping everyone. And it's also insane to me because some of these conferences I've been to that they're so private about, it's like, buddy, there's like 20K people in attendance. What do you mean you're this is like the worst kept secret of all time. Also, like a picture is one thing. when people said they don't want me to take a picture, I would just pull out my note I would just pull out my notebook and start writing down what they did. Like that, you can't stop me from writing notes about your project. And that's like, that would be surely all you need. Or just have two people, one distract the other, and yeah, like it could be literally a team effort. I don't know, man. Some of those people, they were kind of weird. They were a little too secretive for me. Like, what are their secrets? What were they hiding? Like, what were they hiding? I haven't been to a conference this year, but I wonder if attendance will still be okay. Like, I feel like travel is at an all-time low into America. How are you trying to be sick when there's more people in tents than the population? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, there's no way you're trying to, like, this is like a secret, super secret operative, like, poster. No one can know what we're doing, and then there's 20k people here. I erased the parts of the head that I needed on the sketch, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Though I feel like sending someone with a photographic memory is just like, you're doing the most for the least. Like, you just take. I took notes of all these things people said don't take a picture of. And it's also like, when you do a poster, your abstract gets submitted online for easy viewing. So it's not like it's very private. But whatever. Maybe they had bad experiences with someone taking a picture. I know it's crazy. I think science, like, they say it's supposed to be very collaborative, but it's not. It's not very collaborative. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them gaslight you to thinking it's very collaborative. People are very, like, I feel like a lot of scientists are unfortunately very gatekeepy. It should be collaborative. It should. This is, of course, like, I'm speaking more about my my biological science experience. Or yeah, there could I have also considered, like, maybe there's like a flaw, like maybe something, or like their figure is just like, maybe it's wrong, or they like lied. Maybe they lied about their data. I was thinking, I was like, my favorite thing to do is go through redacted papers, because I think it's crazy how much data is just out there that's fake. There are so many fake papers and fake data. Oh, it's insane. I've seen, like, there's like examples of how people fake their figures in scientific papers. Yeah, it's been a reoccurring issue. Paleontologists love to argue. The Bone Wars were literally beef between two paleontologists. Oh my gosh, and sabotaging each other. Yeah, that sounds like science. I think, like, there's so many examples of that in all kinds of science. I think we just like to fight. We're secret fighters, but with like our brains. Yeah, false data has been a big problem. I've heard that it's been getting worse though with generative AI. Like people are like I've heard like just generating like the AI generate like fake Western blots. But I've seen examples of them and I just can't believe they've passed peer review. Like I'm like, this doesn't even look real. There's no way someone took this, like no way someone like examined this figure and thought it was real. Bobby Broccoli has a good series on some of those. Oh, I should check that out. Yeah, I was going through some just out of like for funsies, and I it's so funny. Like there's so many fake Western blots out there. The Western blot is like the most faked, fake science I've ever seen in figures. So like if you don't know what a Western blot is, basically like you're looking for certain protein expression, and so you'll see it through like little black markings on a white figure. So like if the protein is there, you'll typically have a black mark, and like the more protein expression there is, the darker that band will be, and then vice versa. And usually you're looking to see, did it stick to something, blah blah blah. I'm really simplifying it greatly. I'm just trying to get you to understand so like I'm gonna draw it here. So like a Western blot, like it would kind of look like this. So there's like rear protein 1, 2, 3. And so what a lot of these fake science like papers have been doing, sometimes they only have 1 and 3, for example, but 2 is missing, but they need 2. And so they just take this where is it? Copy and paste. Yeah, they'll just take this and then move it, like move the lane from 1 over to 2. And it's insane to me. It's like the most obvious like image manipulation possible. Some of the fake science is interesting where if what they claim were true, yeah, like sometimes the biological implication of what they said like would be insane, and it would like have such a like effect on future science and past science experiments that did not get the claim they're talking about. And they don't seem to realize like you can't just make up data. Like it's clear that like what you did is fake. There's also like a popular one. It's like with like cell like microscopy images, like microscopes, like cells. So they have like this, and this, and they're saying like they saw these cells expressed like this, and that's like figure 1, and like that's their control figure, and then they will like take that figure and then flip it and rotate it and say now that's figure 2 too. Like with cold fusion, if the experiment claimed worked, I haven't heard an example. That's kind of interesting. They killed anyone working on it. That's wild. Some of these like things they're faking, it almost feels like, why are you even lying about this? But I guess I know the answer to that question. They're lying about it because they wanted to publish something, and their negative result wouldn't have gotten published, unfortunately. We should be more okay with publishing negative results. That does not... we can't clickbait a negative result. Or maybe we just haven't tried hard enough. maybe we need to send them to the autoclave instead. I don't think some of these people they maybe we don't send them to the autoclaves. We don't let's not send people to the autoclave. You can send me to the autoclave, but don't send the people. Yeah, that is true. It's some people really do think like what they're working on is correct. They just haven't gotten to they just haven't produced the right result yet. And it's like, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can send me. Let's not send humans to the autoclave. That sounds like this sounds like a really horrifying death to be sent to the autoclave as a person. Ends justify the means type people, yeah. I know also a lot of these things I've seen with falsification of data, it's because they like it's not even about science at all. These people are just like running a paper mill and they're just trying to submit as much papers as they can to get because someone bought this. Oh, it's insane. Paper mill is like the paper mills are a crazy phenomenon. So you can like ask a company, "Hey, I want like 30 papers to be cited to my name." And the paper mill will say bet, and then they just make up a bunch of papers and they put your name on it. Insane. Like, who cares if you have 30 papers to your name if it's all junk like that? This typically I don't think is like a Western phenomenon. Yeah, I think that's where I've heard most of it. It's like in China where I guess they have a strict requirement of like you need to have X amount of citations and papers associated with your name if you want specific career. Like no duh, you're like promoting this kind of behavior. Like if you're putting that kind of requirement. No wonder a paper mill exists. Yeah. I've heard like this is like complained a lot about from people who want to be doctors, not like physician researchers. And you know, fair point, fair point. Why should a doctor need like 30 papers to their name? They just want to treat people, you know. It should be like they should be able to do that. I think they obviously have their own unique sets of problems over there. It's not like we don't have our own sets of issues in academia and research, though. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of how I want to organize my layers. Oh, I'm on the same layers. Need to separate that. Need to separate that. Hydration. That's a good point. We do somewhat try to learn from each other. Yeah. I think a lot. Like, I love the scientific community. Sometimes I think a lot of problems tend to be from corporations trying to get into this community. or they are in this community and they cause problems because of the pressures they put onto other scientists. It's all money. Okay. I think I found the root of it all. It's always money related. Money cause problem. The head. That's the head. And then the neck. Money be causing problems. True, 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 true. True, 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 true. It does suck that so many things are motivated by like how profitable it is, etc., etc. Are you making money? It sucks. Like it's really hard to research things like basic biology. Basic biological pathways are really difficult to get funding for because of the fact it's not very profitable. You're better off like trying to get funding for something that has translational aspect to clinical research. I remember in my undergrad, it was really hard for my undergrad advisor. She struggled to get funding because for a while because she was studying just something like a protein in a bacteria and she had to kind of like figure out a way to spin it to be clinically relevant. And then when she was able to find that clinical like connection, the money started to flow in. And that's just kind of how it is. You got to figure out how can I eventually sell this to a startup or therapeutic or like a hospital. Studying something for the sake of it, of knowledge, not getting you money, not getting you funding or grants. How do they want scientists to just be in it for the love of the game? Lower the capacity. Lower. That's true. We gotta go back. Bring us back to the wee beasties era. Bring us back to the animalcules. I want return to animalcule and little wee beasties. Anthony Van Leeuwenhoek was onto something. Hi, Beppo. Hi. I hope you had a good day. Thank you for dropping by. Always appreciate it. You know, thinking about like microbiology history, I think it's kind of funny. So many of these people that were studying, or I should say, made these like amazing discoveries. They weren't even like doing it for science. Like we saw, like the guy Anthony Van Leeuwenhoek found the little wee beasties because he made a little microscope from a lens to look at his threads as a tailor. He wasn't trying to make a discovery at all. He was just doing whatever he felt like. And Louis Pasteur was apparently just a wine and alcohol guy, and he's like going like, what's making that wine and alcohol? These people just stumbled onto things when they were pursuing their own hobbies. No, we need society to return to something like that. We need to stumble across inventions. We need people to pursue hobbies again. Get people back into the hobbying. I love the story of penicillin was made by complete accident. Yeah, that's also like a classic example of how things just happen to be that way. It's honestly so cool. Oh, I need that back. Hey. You know, when I went to, speaking of people pursuing hobbies, I went to where's it? I went to Paris last year, and we went to see all these different museums and art, and I was like, it like blew me away of like what humans are capable of. And then I thought like these people's whole lives were just like living and doing art. Like you can't really do that nowadays. No one's paying you to just be some guy painting beautiful pictures. Or at least most people aren't getting paid that. A lot of the artificial seizures were by accident and not cleaning hands well enough. Oh, I actually did not know that. That's funny. Ew. It's kind of gross. But you know, bless them for making their artificial sweeteners, because I can't live without like a diet soda. I love a Coke Zero. I feel like line art when you're doing a VTuber model looks very messy, and it's hard to understand why there's so many lines going on. But trust me, like this is all part of the process. This is what you're when you see a VTuber model. They're like so ugly looking with lines everywhere. It's kind of funny. A concerning amount of petroleum experience where people got byproducts on their hands and accidentally tasted it. Oh, you know, that makes a lot of sense how that came to be. Oh, ew. I guess accidentally tasted it, yeah, because they didn't wash their hands. Ew. It's nasty. That's pretty gross. Nasty petroleum. That looks fun. I should probably finish this one. Uranium-235 is the real tasty stuff. Yeah. When I would being in a lab, the amount of smells that you are like assaulted by, it's so disgusting. I could not smell this, like I cannot stand the smell of being in a lab. It did not get me going. And so many things just smelled gross. And I was like working in a biological lab, so obviously things smelled even grosser. But even when I did like organic chemistry and chemistry labs for school, it was just gross. Most things just smelled nasty. I know some people like really love the smell of certain chemicals though. And like I would have to tell my lab partners, please do not think about even tasting a single one of these things. Please don't. Please do not put the toluene in your mouth. They didn't, but like I knew like the girl I worked with, she was like really obsessed with the smell of like certain solvents. And I'd be like, no, I don't think that's tasty. And the first thing we do when we sign up for this lab is, make sure it says, they say don't put anything in your mouth. Solvents are not, no, they're not very appetite friendly. And even like barring solvents, like the smell, like if you've ever worked with mice, I feel like I would have trouble eating some days when I did a lot of mice experiments. It just smells so bad. The first time I went to a mouse room, and if you've never worked at a lab, like with mice, usually a lot of times mice have to be quarantined in a special room where you have to get kind of purified and cleaned. You can't go there if you're dirty. You have to be cleaned up. You have to wear PPE and all that, etc., etc. And the first time I went to like the specialized mouse departments, there's like literally like hundreds of mice in one room. This assault of pee and like urine and feces like that hits your face even with a mask on. It was like enough to make me like consider like, do I want to do this? Do I want to be here? Speaking of chemicals, unlike chemistry majors, us radiologists use hydrochloric acid without protection. Oh, it must be a really low concentration. I guess you wouldn't really need that high of a concentration just to see if it fizzles. So I still feel like anytime you work with any kind of acid, you probably should wear PPE. You never know. You don't know what concentration that could or could not be. We kept some microwaves for phosphate digestion, and our coworker could occasionally cook his lunch in them. Oh, ew! Nasty! I don't know. I know some people have talked about how gross their like lab microwaves are, but we only had one that was really used for agar, dissolving agar for gels. But even that was like so nasty and gross. I couldn't even would not dare put my lunch in there. I stand back with an outstretched arm for the drop. Wear your PPE. Wear your PPE. Wear your gloves. Wear everything. You don't want to get hurt. All it takes is one bad accident and then, owie. Those microwaves are growing some odd phosphate crystals. Ooh, interesting. Phosphate... I don't understand how he could want to microwave his lunch. 5 to 10%. I guess it's not... I know it's not that bad. It's just more like... I always was really hammered in my head. Even when you think it's safe, you should wear PPE. Because you have to be careful of the unknowns. They didn't give you PPE, you're shame. Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. Lab safety guy looks on dubiously. Someone got on the... They shouldn't be getting anything on their skin. It doesn't matter if it was fine. You shouldn't be getting anything onto your skin in a lab. The lab safety guys are scribbling down furiously. I'm sending them over right now to So many lab accidents happen because people think they're safe. You know, like so many, I feel like a lot of people, they have trouble, like, struggle with reporting accidents. I see that so often on the lab rats subreddit. They like, they'll get bit by a mice, or they'll stab themselves with like a needle and then go and should I report this? And I'm like, yes, you're supposed to report everything. I don't understand why you guys don't want to report anything. They'll get cut by something or spill some unknown chemical, and then they go, do I report this to somebody? Oh my gosh, you guys, did you guys not get lab PPE hammered into your head or something? Oh my gosh. Do any of them get rat superpowers? No, they probably, I don't, you know, maybe they do. Maybe the rat superpower is like kind of like, you know, rabies, where you get afraid of water, but you're just afraid of telling your supervisor that you got hurt. I can't believe I am hearing too many instances of hydrochloric acid going in places it shouldn't be. It's on a paper, it was on somebody's skin. Someone please get this geology lab some safety wear. Listen, normal does not mean acceptable. Lab safety, unacceptable. Oh, my symmetry was off. I did all that and my symmetry was off. Oopsie. No, don't invite me to a geology lab, because I will actually invite me to the geology lab, and I will personally hand out lab coats and lab gloves to everyone. Bed free stuff. I've drawn this wiggly thing, like, I'm not happy with it anytime I draw it. Okay. 20% peroxide. Whitened my skin down to looking like a paper for a few hours where it hit. Through the shirt. Oh my god. See? Scary stuff. Lab safety. Ooh. I'm trying to think of any instances where I did anything that was not very safe. I have uncapped needles when you're not supposed to, but I try to be. I would always try to be very, very careful. But yeah, you're not supposed to recap a needle. Like if you uncap a needle and then you're not supposed to put the cap back on. Yeah, needle sticks are no fun. Yeah, it was because like I needed to transport the injection somewhere else, but I didn't want to walk around with open needles, and so I recapped it. But I learned that I should just cover them. I should just cover it with like aluminum foil or something, and then walk. I'm careful with the hydrochloric acid. That's good. That's good that you're careful. Oh, ow! Yeah, that sounds awful. I'm like grabbing my finger while reading your comment about it getting right down into the end of the finger. Ah! Oh, I can feel it. I remember someone in my lab got in big trouble because they left some needles. They left like needles just around their bench. That was a big no-no. No, don't leave the needles around your bench. I just remember they got sent to someone just sent the picture of like needles to the lab group chat and said, "Who did this?" I was like, "Ooh, that's not me, at least." I was making an IV bag with antibiotics. Thankfully, I didn't miss anything. Just said, "Oh, ow, 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 ow." Did I ever get bit by a mouse? No. Some mice were really, really close to biting me, and mouse bites are not very like. I would kind of throw the mouse. If the mouse looked like it was trying to bite me, I would just go oh, and then throw it back into its cage. But it was only male mice that would ever try those shenanigans with me. The male mice were never that pleasant. Especially old male mice were so nasty to work with. Yeah. Yeah, thankfully the antibiotic needle is probably the best thing you can get stuck with. Oh, you tried to give blood, but you chicken out. Oh, it's okay. I think needles are kind of scary. Getting injections and shots are frightening. I don't like doing it either, but I try to do it when I can because yeah, it. Bonus points are nice though, but I try to do it just because it's good to give when you can. I really want to give like plasma, but I haven't set a time up to do that. I don't like how they feel going in. Yeah. Also, I've had bad experiences sometimes with blood work because I remember once I had to get blood work done and then I hadn't eaten that day because I was just in such a rush. And then I didn't realize, oh, I forgot to eat. And then like I gave blood, like they took my blood and then I like zonked out like immediately. I was like, I don't think I feel so good. Then it was like just for a second though, and then they gave me like orange juice and like a piece of candy and said, "You just sit here until you feel better." Oh, yeah, like that kind of stuff can get you. Yeah, it's not that pleasant. It takes longer than you think. It feels a little odd while tapping since you're hooked up to the whole machine. Ah, yeah, I heard that it takes a bit, so I wanted to like find a good time to do it. It feels odd. I wonder how it'll go. I will update you guys whenever that happens. I'm trying to be more mindful about doing what I can, and I want to give back more. Give what I can. One day I want to give blood, but in the meantime, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I mean, I'm sure eventually you'll work your way up to giving blood. The odd feeling is mostly from the IV to keep your blood volume up while they do it since they're taking off. Yeah, I heard it's. I'm sure it doesn't. It feels weird. I could see how it could feel weird. It is quite a lot of fluid when you think about it. The machine. Oh, I've seen videos of that. That's I also partly want to go out of like pure like, how does that work? You can use shots for vaccines, fine. I feel like shots usually are a little bit different than blood work. It's all like it's like just a weird feeling. I don't usually like the feeling afterward from giving, like when they take my blood. But I think it's usually because I don't eat enough or like I'm not hydrated. I'm not taking care of myself before I do the blood work, and so my body's going, well, now it's time to die. Aw, you held your mom's hand? That's so cute. That's just adorable. Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure they like. Surely they see that often too. You're definitely not the only one that does that. Worst bit is being told to keep the vein open though. You gotta squeeze a ball every couple minutes. The machine will beep at you. Angry machine. Beep 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 beep. Your vein is not open. Beep 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 beep. So you can't like even zone out completely. I see. Interesting. Well, I will try to make time to do that soon. Hydrate. I will hydrate. My water is not very cold anymore. Also, the rain thunderstorm just stopped. Now it just smells like rain. Huh. I'd also say make sure to eat ahead of time. Bring something to listen to or watch for the duration, and try to schedule things. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think I would have all those things. That's one thing I have to be more mindful about, like hydrating and eating. And because I know I get the woozy feeling really often whenever I do blood work. So I will definitely keep that in mind. Thank you. Who would have thought going into getting your blood taken and you didn't eat will make you feel really sick and nasty? The stuff to watch and listen to can't move either arm. Oh, I guess that makes sense. So it has to you just need to like kind of lock in without moving anything. No doom scrolling. I'll have to like find like a movie or something maybe. Or like a long YouTube video. Maybe a YouTube series. Okay, ad break is starting in like 30 seconds. I might like get up to I'm gonna get up when the ad break starts to stretch my leggies. And maybe get a snack. A little snack for the 9 p.m. snack. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I gotta look through my cabinets. My snack drawer is kind of empty. I'm sorry, I'm just like contemplating what snacks I even have. I have to go grocery shopping tomorrow. I gotta do adult things tomorrow. Errands of all kind. Adult behavior, like clean and do laundry and get groceries and take out the trash and go. Yeah. The list keeps going on, and then I also have to go. I have to go take out my compost. Busy. Snack contemplation is serious business. It is. Okay, I'm gonna get a little leggy stretch and a snack. I'll be right back. Hi. I couldn't find anything I really wanted, so I just picked up my leftover kimchi pancakes. Now I'm kind of just munching on those on the side. I need to refill my snack drawer. It's really empty. Like, unfortunately empty. I really wanted something on the sweeter side, but that was not happening. You're in your PJs. It is. I guess it is already 9 p.m. And you taking your meds. I want to get into my PJs soon too, but I won't be sleeping. But I want to get into PJ mode, and relax. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. for you. Yeah, exactly. It's not that I just get into the PJs for like maximum comfiness. It's also like now it's the perfect temperature for me at least. It's a 63 F, and now it's like it's just cool enough to wear nice PJs, like fluffy PJs. I feel like I don't really leave the house too often because I work from home, and I have, because of that, I kind of have like created 2 sets of like houseware. I have like, I'm kind of like in active mode in my house. Like, it's not PJs, but you know, it's like sweatpants and whatever. Then I have like the PJ wear, and I need that separation of clothing so my brain can go, oh yes, it's nighttime, it's relaxed mode now, not like doing chores around the house or work from home time. It makes sense in my brain. I'm using a blanket because I'm a bit chilly, and oh, Wilbur's at your feet. Aw, he's sleeping. Sleep tight, little Wilbur. Wilbur the piggy. I think the head is mostly done. Oh wait, I didn't make the face. I'm gonna have to draw the mouth. I think rigging the mouths for a VTuber model is like one of the most annoying parts. That's the part I feel like I need more guides on how to do that. I was wearing my sweatpants as I worked out this morning. Yeah. See, like sweatpants, my sweatpants I have are they are like, they're not so like raggedy that I can go outside in them and not feel ashamed. But I can't use them as PJs because my brain's like, no, this is like, I'm gonna do something pants. This is, I will not, I can't go to sleep in these pants. Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn this into the chibi model. Somehow I was just sketching randomly, and now I think we've got a chibi model in the works. But there's still so much work to do. These things take so long. But it's also, I don't work very fast. This would be faster if I worked on it off stream, but I just like yapping. Yapping and a little work. I'm also right now eating, so I'm barely drawing. And lots of layers. So many layers. Some model artists I know, they don't use that many layers. It's still a lot. But some, like, there's like videos of this, like they separate every little strand of hair. Like every little strand goes, like, and they'll take it apart, and each eyelash is also its own layer. It's like crazy work to me. I'm not there yet. Mine aren't ready. I also running. Yeah. Like my sweatpants are like good enough to like if I want to go to like a bakery outside, I will put them on. Though I have some raggedy I have some raggedy sweatpants. Those are like the yeah, it's time to go to bed. Do the glasses, I guess I should use a circle. Can I do that? Hello? Hello? I enjoy yapping with everyone, and also if you're not yapping either and you're just lurking, I enjoy your presence too. I enjoy every single person that stops by. If you like listening to me yap and you like yapping with me, I appreciate that. These are all things I would just be talking about to myself if I weren't to stream it. If I wasn't streaming, I'd be talking to myself anyway. I hate doing glasses. You know how hard it is to actually rig glasses? Whatever, we are going to do it. Also, I need to name my files, my layers. I'm not doing that as I go, so now I'm gonna suffer the consequences of my own actions after stream when I like go through all these layers I just made and have to rename them. Anyone else reaping what they sow? Just me. I'm gonna take a bite out of my kimchi pancake. Yeah, that's what it's gonna end up being. I go like, so what is this layer for? Oh, it's for this. Oh, what's this layer for? I can't see a difference. Do I delete it? What if I need it? I don't know. So fun. So cool. I wish there was like an easy way to rename the layers as I work. But right now it's a little awkward because my keyboard is off to the side, and so I have to like do a 90-degree angle turn if I want to type. My table's too small for 16-inch tablet and like 2 monitors and a keyboard and a microphone and a phone setup and an audio interface and water and my MacBook. The MacBook doesn't need to be here. It's just hanging out though. Sounds like me trying to figure out what the circuit breaker does with an unlabeled breaker box. Yeah, you go, did that do something? Hello? No? I was dealing with that a few weeks ago. Something was like broken in my apartment, and I was like, what? Like, what is my circuit box? Like, my circuit breaker even like? What are these? Like, I had to just like flip them on and off and go like, is this the thing I need to fix? No? Okay. And that took a while. They were not they were not labeled at all. Hmm. I was trying to sleep, and next thing I know, my fan turns off, so I had to go see. Oh no, the fan turning off, and while you're like trying to go to bed, I would be upset to say the least. I need my fan on when I'm going to sleep, and then like you turn it off, and like all of a sudden the cool air is gone. Hello, I need that. Yeah. The unfortunate things of living with family. I haven't been there in a bit, but I remember those years. It's not very pleasant to say the least. But there's nice things, like I mean it's free rent. I love my family though, even though they drive me crazy sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends. I love my family too, but I think I really like living separated from them. I think I've learned to love them more as I grew separated from them. Then you just kind of appreciate them. I also just like my own space. And not having to worry about someone touching my things, or if I'm bothering someone because I'm up at 4 a.m. and I'm yapping to myself, is really nice. Bree doesn't think me most of my family live with. I've gotten along well with grandfather. Tough. Yeah, grandparents can be. I feel like grandparents can go like easily two ways: staunch old time politics, or they're just like the most lovely, sweetest person you've ever met. Yeah, no, of course. Like if you can't, like, it's no problem if you can't live alone. I don't think many people can. I'm very fortunate that I am in a position where I could even do that, and I don't need roommates or anything. Especially in a big city. You like oh my gosh, 80F? Ugh. That sounds that's 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 inhumane temperatures. Yeah, that might be the equivalent of putting someone to an autoclave. You know, close enough. Oh god, 80F is insane. I like it really cold when I go to sleep, but I don't really have that kind of luxury. I don't have an AC unit. I'm at the whims of like my fan. My fan and poor insulation. I think that's like that's usually what I like too if I'm somewhere where I can control the temperature. Yeah, 68 is so good. That is like a perfect temperature, especially to go to sleep to. It's just so comfortable, and the comforter is just at the it's so nice, and ah, it's lovely. It's magical. I do one thing I am sad about where I live. There's just no AC. It's too old of a building to have central cooling, and there's not really a way for me to use a window unit here. So it's it's not happening AC. But luckily it doesn't get too hot at night, at least. It's like good enough. Like having a fan is usually more than enough. You're not allowed to mess with the temperature. I guess that's like a typical thing for families, huh? Like it's not your house, therefore you can't mess with the temperature. You're not paying the bill. I remember that a lot growing up. Not having AC is literally unlivable. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. No, I feel like nowadays though, with like how things are heating up, it almost feels like it's getting like harder and harder for more places to live without AC, unfortunately. Even over here, like there's been some humid, pretty humid days in the summer where I go, AC kind of would be nice to have, but there's like just logistically it doesn't make sense for me to have it. But maybe this summer it will be too hot and I'll be like, wow, I really wish I had an AC. I know that's like a big problem right now. Like I think in Europe, like European countries, it's getting so much warmer in a lot of those countries, and they just don't really have the infrastructure, like energy wise, to like support their populations all going using AC. Or at least that's what I've heard. I don't know like the veracity of those claims. I know people warned me when I went to Paris. They were like, "Good luck in Paris, like in the summer without AC." But like the hotel had AC. It wasn't so bad. Coastal Georgia, swampy. Ew. That's why we need more nuclear plants. True, true. We need more. Swampy isn't that swamp. The swamp isn't that bad. But I mean, I don't. I guess I've never been to a swamp, so I can't attest to it. But when people describe something as swampy, I can't help but think, ugh, that sounds so uncomfortable. look right. Something about that. It's not looking right. Used to go every year to a state park for a family reunion on Labor Day weekend. Did some fishing, was nice. Oh, how that's pleasant. I was never much of like I'm trying to think in my like family history. Did we do many naturey things? Not really. I feel like my family was quite didn't do much. We didn't really go much anywhere. They were all, I feel like my parents were both like too busy to do anything. And like most people in my family were busy with work. And so I feel like there was never time to like spend money to go out. You have a large family, yeah. I guess my family is pretty small. Okay. Aw, they're no longer with you. Oh, sad. Always really sad. At least you had that time you were able to have a time where you did do those traditions, though. That's always. The memories are nice. Oh, yeah, I bet it's really hard to like put together those kind of events. I feel like they usually only work because the 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 elder is saying like, "Hey, you gotta come," and then it's like, "Am I really gonna listen to my cousin tell me to come to this event?" Again, I've never had these things in my life, and it's never been something organized. I don't keep in touch really much with family. I'm gonna take a bite of my kimchi. Yeah, I've heard like southern like culture is much more it's pretty family oriented. Grandparents traveled all over the country and handed out cards to random people they ran into. Cards said, "If you're in X town on Y day, you're welcome to come to our family reunion and get some food." Oh, wow! What a like a lovely family tradition. They sound like they sound like such wonderful people to invite like random people they met. Asian, ah. That's really I think it's lovely hearing about how other people's families like what kind of traditions they have. Especially when they're so different from anything I've ever done. I've never like experienced anything similar to what you guys are talking about. a lot of my like family. It just feels like, I think we're just like, it was just like a big family of introverts. Nobody really wanted to hang out with each other or talk with each other. I have to draw a lace, and I'm not in the mood to draw lace right now, so I'm gonna keep that away for now. Just don't go fishing with your idiot cousin who almost hits an alligator in the head with his fishing line. Oh, okay. I will write that one down. How does that even happen? How do you almost? I guess I feel like I'm trying to imagine the situation. I guess you just toss your fishing line. Yeah, I see. Interesting. Interesting. Well, at least it was, he said almost hit, so like, at least he didn't hit him. Dude is not very smart unless it's a mechanics thing. Oh, poor cousin. Poor idiot cousin. Took 5 seconds to add 2 plus 1. No, no way. Listen, I am very not bright when it comes to mathematics. Even I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet in being that dumb for math. You can tell me math problems and I will sit there and stare at you until my brain can visualize what's going on. I don't think I need this light to be so high up. Sorry, I'm just thinking how far I need the leg up. I'm trying to visualize what I would do when I do the model rigging. Yeah, because I don't think the skirt will like go that high up anyway. Yeah. I wish it was. I guess there is ways to set up how it would look with in rigging nowadays with the Clip Studio Paint 4. There's like puppet animation. I just don't know how to set that up, so maybe I'll play around with that after. Yeah, you can like make it move similar to how you would see it in live 2D. Technology is crazy. Wilbur got up from where he was laying to nuzzle against my back. Oh, that's so cute. Why is Wilbur so adorable? Wow. Pets are just so cute. When I hear people's like pet experience like this, it makes me really want a pet. But I feel like maybe like I'll get a cat one day, but don't think I should get something soon. Maybe in the future. A pet cat would be nice, considering how low-key they are compared to like a dog. I have to do the hand suit. The only things left are that I need to line art are the things that I don't like working on. Hands and lace. Like the two evil nemesis. I also have to color and draw. Coloring will be a I can't color until I organize my layers though, because if I don't know what I'm coloring, it's gonna be a mess. You have to do like when you do VTuber model art, you have to like have everything carefully stacked because you want to hide certain things. Like you want to color on top of this line, but not color on top of that line. It's kind of interesting. It's like a secret layers going on just to make all this movement happen. Maybe we have to wrap it up then, because I need to do more thinking and thonking before I do anything else. Ugh. I'm eating like my kimchi pancake dinner, but I don't know if I want to eat anything else for dinner. This might be it for dinner. It's kind of a late dinner. I forgot I had tea next to me too. I made myself tea and then I barely drank it during the course of this stream. Now it's like all cold. Oopsie. Oops. That's okay. I'll probably make some more afterward. What do I have to do tomorrow? No stream tomorrow, as the holy stream schedule says. But I have to make a stream schedule. I don't know if it'll get posted tomorrow though, because I have to really sit down and think about what I want to do. I will have more time to stream though compared to this week, so it'll be likely more than 3 days of streams. I think I'll do some more art streams. Probably do more of the chibi model work in like on stream, just because it's kind of fun to yap while I'm doing that work, and it will motivate me to get this chibi done. I think maybe I'll play some games, but I have to think about what games. But if I can't think of any good games, I might just do a bunch of art streams with our science stream. I don't know if we're gonna do the microbiome reading next week. We might do something else. I have an idea, but I have to see if it actually, if it's feasible. If it's feasible. But if it's not feasible, we might just do the microbiome reading. If it is, then we'll do that, and you'll see immediately when I post my schedule if it's feasible. I have to record some shorts tomorrow too. I think that's why you probably won't get the schedule tomorrow. So that means that there's likely no stream on Monday either. I have to I wrote a bunch of shorts ideas, and I have to go record and edit them. And then I have to go look through some VODs for things. Busy day tomorrow for me for background work. But it's been all fun. And then I'll somehow make time to play Expedition 33 in the meantime. Because I can't stay away from that game. I'll probably play some after this stream, even. After I make myself another, not a cold cup of tea, but like a hot cup of tea. Okay, I think that is it for me, because I really want tea. and I want to get something warm right now. And I am being held back. No, not like the autoclave. You guys won't let me breathe. Okay. I'm gonna see you guys maybe Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday. No promises until the schedule is made, but maybe Tuesday. Okay, I'll see you guys later then. Bye 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 bye. I'll post schedule on social media, Discord, blah 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 blah, as usual. Bye bye.